Hey Queens, welcome to my channel. I'm Bailey. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be discussing eyeshadow palettes and face palettes that I would love to throw in a project pan and work on. If you're new here, please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and everyone hit that like button because it would help your girl out. Now let's get started. I'm just gonna get started with face palettes because I only have 3 of them. I'm gonna start off with the Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio. This is the OG formula, the original ones that came out. I got this in a BoxyCharm a while back. And as you know, it's already been in a project pan, well, in my current project pan. And I've already panned the middle shade. I've considered it done. However, I still want to work on these 2 and would love to pan those as well. I know it won't take too terribly long. What is it, like 3 or 4 months, which actually isn't that bad. The next palette is the Kevin Aucoin Contour Book, The Art of Sculpting and Divining, that's wrong. Defining Volume 3 palette. I love the packaging. I think the models look gorgeous, absolutely stunning. However, I got this from Influencer. I got this complimentary. This was free to me. And I'm grateful for that because it's Kevin Aucoin and I was just so shook. But at the same time, I'm not that impressed with it. This Venice shade will never get used. I will never use it. Overall, it's just a meh palette. It's just meh. You can get this anywhere. This, I don't even know what the point of it is, but I am not here for it. The sculpting shades aren't bad. I don't know if I'll be able to use the medium one, but I know I can use the light one. And I do really enjoy the highlights. So yeah, this is kind of just something that's kind of taking up room in my collection and kind of just getting in the way of other things. So yeah, I just kind of want to get rid of that. The last sort of face palette that I have is the Morphe Babe in Paradise palette, the one they collabed with Bretman Rock. Now, I still love Bretman Rock. He is great. However, Morphe just is shady, and I don't want to support them anymore. I do not purchase from them anymore. So that is why I want to try and pan this. This palette is absolutely stunning, and I have used it quite a bit. This shade has a huge dip in it, and this has quite a bit gone as well, but I would love to get a full good use out of this and maybe using these other shades that I don't use as much as other things. So there you go. Now this next thing is a face palette. However, I don't use it as a face palette because it's too dark. This is the Cover FX Perfector face palette in medium deep. BoxyCharm sent me the wrong shade. So this is obviously way too dark for me. I'm a white lady, okay? I am a white lady. This will never in a million years work for me. However, I do like the formulas in here, especially for eyeshadow, especially like a very quick and easy sort of look. Now, obviously this would take me forever to use as just eyeshadow, but that's okay. I do still want to get use out of it. Now I'm gonna go into official eyeshadow palette category. First up, if you've been here for a while, are you surprised? Are you surprised? This is the Natasha Denona Jubilee palette. I got this in a BoxyCharm in what, March or April? I think it was the Easter box. Not 100% sure. But this color story is very jumbled to me. It's hard for me to imagine how to make looks with just these shades. They're all good formula, except for this yellow shimmer. It's more of a chalk. Like, it looks fine on my finger. And it looks really, Wow, it looks really pretty when it's blended out like that. However, when I had it on my eyeball, it literally just looked like chalk, like straight chalk. Maybe I just need to use my finger with it instead of a brush. Maybe I should try that out. But this is not a palette that I enjoy, and I don't know how I'm gonna pan it since it is such a disjointed color story in my mind. I was so disappointed with this. Natasha Denona is not a brand that I am going to allow to have even one single shade be not good, because it's Natasha Denona. They charge people bukus amount of money for their products, and it's ridiculous. And because of those prices, they don't get the chance to mess up. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's Maybelline or ColourPop, it's like, okay, I paid $5 for this palette and one shade isn't that great. Okay, I'm not mad about it. But these 5-pan palettes are $25. I can't imagine how disappointing it would be to get one of their bigger size palettes that are like $130 and some of the shades don't work that great. I would be pissed, furious if I spent that amount of money and I was so disappointed. So yeah, it's an okay palette, but it's disjointed color-wise and not all the formulas are great. I would like to put this in my project at some point. Oh, God. I regret purchasing this palette so much. I don't know why I was so compelled to get this palette. First of all, I don't support I can't even say tooth right, let alone say Too-Faced. I don't support them anymore. They're shady as heck. And honestly, I think a lot of their products or their packaging, their themes are very gross. I feel like a lot of them are like a little too over the border, like too, like, you look at this palette and you're like, okay, this was made for a younger audience. And then they have other collections where they're geared to an older audience, but there's younger aspects to it. Like, I don't know. It's very weird to me and I don't like it, so I don't buy from them anymore. I bought this at TJ Maxx, so I got it for, you know, half off. And I don't know what it was about this palette, why I needed it so bad, but I did get it. It's, oh God, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. I will say that this shade, oh, let me just show you. Oh God, I stabbed with the blue. I love Fun in the Sun. Like, that is so pretty to me. So stunning. I love that shade, and I'll never be able to get that anywhere else. I have not seen, I'm sure there are other palettes in it, but I just don't have one like it. Actually, hold on. Let's compare. Just to be fun. I'm going into Sunburst in the Honey palette. Oh no, this one's, oh gosh, that's the wrong shade. Yeah, I think Fun in the Sun is just, yeah, it's a lot more green. Okay, so I don't have a shade like that in my collection, so unfortunate. But I don't know why I can't just let go of it and why I feel the need to pan it. But yeah, I'm gonna attempt to pan this palette because for whatever reason, I can't let go of it. It's not even good quality. Just everything about this palette makes me feel sick, but I still can't get rid of it. I don't know why. The next two palettes I want to talk about, and I'm putting in this video because these are just palettes from people from my past, and I want to get them out of my collection as kind of a closure thing. So first up is the Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat. I have no issues with this palette. I have the original one as well. I enjoy this palette a lot. I am able to create very like everyday looks with these. Everyday looks to me. I love a burnt sultry, orangey, smoky look. That is something that I'm definitely into. So I do love the palette. It's got a sore place in my heart, and that's why I want it out of my collection. Next is a Valentine's Day palette from Kylie Jenner. This was a gift from someone, and of course they have a sore place in my heart as well. So just trying to get this out of my collection. I don't mind this palette, but it's definitely not my favorite. The quality is not the best, and these shades are more like toppers than like shimmers, which I am not about that topper life. That's just not for me, but I don't know. I feel like I could get a lot of use out of this if I just placed some focus on it. So we will see, but definitely will be in a project pan at some point in time. Next is a palette that I got from BoxyCharm. This is the Ciate London Velvet palette. This is just in here because I haven't played with it enough, and part of that is because the color story, though it has aspects of it that I do really like, it just, I don't know. I need to play more with it in order for me to like get the motivation to do so. I think I want to put it in a project pan because I look at it and I'm like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing too terribly wrong with it. I just don't reach for it. So, yeah. All right. The next eyeshadow palette I also got on BoxyCharm. This is the Morphe Happy Hour palette. I really do enjoy this palette. It has a lot of things that I love. A lot of warm tones, these deeper browns that I love deepening up looks with, a bright, like corally orange sort of situation, some reds. I really enjoy this palette, but again, it is from Morphe, and I'm just trying to get my Morphe products out of my collection because they are shady. Now that brings me to the last two palettes here, and I know you guys recognize these because I have talked about these on my channel recently. They are in my throwback series. I've done both of these, I believe, at this point. So the first one is, of course, Volume 1. This is the OG formula before they ever changed it. And it's beat up. It is beat up. Is this the one? Yep. My cat has chewed on it. I've taken it on all kinds of soccer trips. I have traveled with it a lot of places, and you're like, Bailey, how do you travel with a palette that has 35 shades? And you know what I tell you? Dedication. I love this palette, which is so upsetting because I love this palette so much, but Morphe is just so shady. I mean, Jaclyn Hill is too. But at the time when I bought this, I was newer to the beauty community. Jaclyn Hill hadn't like come out with too many crazy scandals. I think she had like a couple highlighters that just didn't go well. This is before the lipstick thing happened. And then I think there was something before that. I don't really know. But this palette just, you can see that there's a lot of love in it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pans in this palette. I love this palette truly. However, it's by Morphe and Jaclyn Hill, and I would like to see go. And that hurts to say, but I don't want things in my collection that kind of make me feel uncomfortable, and this palette makes me uncomfortable as much as I love it. Which brings me to Volume 2. She is a little less beat up. She has not traveled as much. My cat has not gotten to this one. But here she is. It obviously does not have as much use. I've had the Volume 1 palette for years, and I think I've had this one for like a year or two, maybe. But yeah, I just have not used it as much. There are a lot of things I love about this palette. I'm not going to go into too many details because I just spoke about this palette. Like, I believe the video about this palette is going up right before this one or something like that. So yeah, the Morphe palettes have got to go. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. Obviously, none of this is like set in stone because I don't know how this year's Project Pan is gonna go. If you haven't seen my Project Pan videos, then I will let you in on something. This is the year that I try to hit pan on a lot of my Jeffree Star products. I don't support Jeffree Star anymore. I mean, the consensus is there. Everyone knows. So yeah, just trying to get through as many of those products as possible. And I'm kind of just going to reevaluate all that stuff at the end of the year. There are a lot of things that I like, and I might just make some decisions on that, which could influence a lot of what happens with my Project Pan that begins at, you know, the end of the year. So I don't know what's going to happen because it all depends on if I'm able to actually use up some of my makeup or not. So anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy Project Panning content, please hit subscribe, hit that notification bell because I have stuff coming all the time, every month at least. I have my lipstick Project Pan, my Project Pan, you know, aside from lipsticks, and I'm always changing it, so it's never the same. Because I'm kind of a beginner to it and just trying to get a feel for what I want out of my Project Pan. So yeah, and I'm a mess, so there's that as well. Anyways, before I get too rambly, y'all have a good one. Goodbye.